Yo, what up? It's that nigga that you love to hate cause I spit it straight, know what I'm saying? Put him in a fucking game. Back in the day, my cousin, he housed this Sega Genesis from somebody. I don't know who he housed it from, but it must have been somebody that he knew, cause he would keep the Sega Genesis at my crib. You know what I'm saying? So he brought the shit to my house. He brought the Sega to my house, and I ain't had no games for the shit. So I went to the toy store. Yeah, back in the day they used to have toy stores, nigga. But yeah, I went to the toy store and to find some games for it. And there was a game there called John Madden Football 92. So I had played football games before that, like Tecmo Bowl and Joe Montana football, the first Joe Montana football. But when I bought this John Madden 92, yo, when I tell you that shit was so dope that I played that shit like every day, like all day. I would just sit there and play that shit when I came home from work, whatever. I would just play that shit, yo. So you know, later they made different installments, you know, Madden 93, John Madden Football 94, 95, 96, all the way to 2025 or whatever. They just kept making the Maddens. But that was my first Madden experience, was John Madden 92. And what I used to hate was that you couldn't never like edit the rosters and shit on there. Like, you know, when the next game came out, you basically had to buy the new game, you know what I mean, in order to get the new players and all that. So, you know, but they would add new features and shit, you know, to the game every year, you know, to make it where it was at least either better or different or whatever. But it was slightly different. So it really wasn't no difference between the first Madden. I think it was just called John Madden Football. And then they had John Madden Football 92. And then they had John Madden Football 93. And then after that, they got the team license, you know, so they had the actual teams on the Madden 94. They called it Madden NFL 94. They got the NFL license. They ain't had a player license yet, but they had the team license. So they would have the numbers and shit on there. So if you know, watch football, you kind of knew who at least the star players was. And that's when I first got into roster editing and shit too. Even though you couldn't edit the rosters, it had the numbers of the players and shit on there. So what I would do is I would go to the store and buy like a football annual magazine where they got all the, you know, the football preview. So they would have like the rosters on there, and I would match up the numbers with the rosters that was in the game, you know, so you would know, you know, who was getting off in the game when you sometimes they ain't had the numbers right and shit. That's another reason why I hated that you couldn't go in and edit the rosters and shit, because I think on Madden 92, Desmond Howard, Heisman Trophy winner Desmond Howard, he was like number 92 for the Redskins or some shit, and that wasn't even his number, you know what I mean? His number wasn't even fucking 92. So I used to hate that shit. But yeah, anyway, so, you know, I always wish that I could edit the ratings and the rosters and shit for those old games. But now, you know, I figured out a way to do that shit. So how it could be done. So, you know, so now I got John Madden Football 93 with all the new rosters and shit on there. The 2020, actually I got the 2024 rosters updated on there. So y'all can come to my website and check that shit out. And also one of the game modders, because Madden 93 had only had 28 teams, because back then it was only 28 teams. It's 32 teams now. So you got the new teams, which was the 4 teams I was missing was the Ravens, the Houston Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Carolina Panthers. Because the last 3 expansion teams was the Panthers, the Jaguars, and the Texans. And then Baltimore, of course, they moved from Cleveland, to Baltimore. So it's one of the modders and shit, the video game modders and shit, modded that shit where he added those 4 teams. I don't know how the fuck he did that shit, but whatever. They on there now. So y'all can come check that out on my website, with the edited rosters and the ratings and shit on John Madden Football 93. So if you from the old school, back in the day like me, you still play the retro games, I got that shit, yo. I got it. And if you need that shit, just hit me up on my email. Or hit me up on the website. If you subscribe to my Patreon, then I'll hook you up with that shit, yo. Just hit me up on Patreon. You can hit me up on Patreon and I'll hook you up with that shit, yo. Peace.